Welcome to the Cotton Club Radio. I'm your host, Cotton Club. Today's conversation, family, I'm just going to get straight to it. Today's conversation is going to be called, What Happens When Black Americans Unsubscribe to the Machine? You heard what I said, family. What happened when me and you, Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, what happens, family, when we unsubscribe to the machine? When I say unsubscribe, family, to the machine, I'm being very, very, very specific because many of us don't understand what the machine is, and many of us are products of the machine and don't know that we are. But when I talk about the machine, I'm talking about the political apparatus that's running this nation right now. You know what I'm talking about, family, because I'm going to keep it funky with y'all. Right now, the grassroots, me and you, just the small guys, me and you, the grassroots is at war with the machine, family. And right now, the machine is pumping out imitation grassroots people, carbon copy grassroots people. These people are sent out here to imitate you and me, the real people, right? They're sent out here to imitate, and they're sent out here to misinform the masses so that when real individuals like you, me and you, working individuals who do this for the love of our people, we don't get paid, even though the machine will pay content creators or pay people to go into your comments and say that people like me get paid to say. No, they're actually the ones being paid to go in my comments, people like me, and try to spread misinformation. So the machine is paying content creators to come out here and to sway the masses into deviating from our call to action. And right now, our call to action is delineation, family. When I look at the spectrum right now, we know that the elections are going to be coming real soon. And every time the elections are going to come, the machine starts paying a lot of content creators to get out here and start to spread a lot of misinformation and to put out a hit on the FBA grassroots, family. Understand, when you're at war, your enemy has no rules. They have no respect. There are no lines that they won't cross. So right now, it seems like the machine is focused on getting prominent content creators to fund them dark money so that they can attack the grassroots and attack the FBA, Foundational Black American grassroots and delineation. Right now, one of their candidates, they have a few candidates. They had the Conscious Lee character who had his claim to fame a few years ago where he was being paid dark money to attack the grassroots. They had the Afro, what's that other dude, that African dude? I forget his name. That's how irrelevant these dudes are, but they got pretty good followings. They can continue to attack. And now they're sending Tasha K. This is the new, and it's interesting because when I think of how the machine is using these content creators, it's not just content creators. They'll use rappers. They use Fat Joe at one time. They were funding him to help Kamala Harris in her 2024 election. And it's interesting because at that time, the grassroots, FBA grassroots, was all up in him, and his career was toward the Ashkins of history, and he needed a lifeline. And what did the machine do? And went and just basically put dark money behind Fat Joe. But see, the thing about it is with the Tasha K character and why the machine chose her, the machine chose her because she had a pretty good following, and a lot of would the machine would say was a grassroots following. But what the machine failed to realize was that Tasha K was already up for scrutiny. So she wasn't the best candidate, but the machine made a bad mistake, family. The machine chose the wrong one. Because what happens to a person like Tasha K when you and me unsubscribe to her shit. She goes to the ash cans of history, family. Her platform is dropping and crumbling right as we speak. Her anti-FBA rhetoric is off the chain. Her blatant playing dumb methods don't work, but she thinks that's the route to go. And now she's left between a rock and a hard place. And her career and everything that she put up, and this is the problem with content creators who choose the machine instead of choosing the grassroots. What happens when the machine funds you, the machine can unplug you. You heard what I said, family? When the machine chooses you and they decide to fund that dark money under you to keep you afloat, normally these are individuals who need money because they're having money issues. The machine chooses them well. You know, remember when the machine chose Fat Joe's career was on the decline. He hadn't put out a record in years. Lean Back was already ancient Egypt. That shit was done. You see what I'm saying, family? So when he started his little claim to fame talking about Latinos created 50% hip hop and then the grassroots unplugged his ass, he was finished. He needed a lifeline. And what did the machine do? They came right at the right time for him. And he started, next thing we know, we started seeing him with Kamala Harris doing little campaigns and little weird stuff. And then come to find out that he was working for the machine. So the machine with this Tasha K character got her at the right time. She was in debt, $4 million from being sued by Cardi B. And she needed the money. The machine knows who needs the money. So what did they do, family? The machine put money behind Tasha K. And you know they did because her talking points are very lined up. They're very lined up. Damn, they're identical, family. Y'all gotta follow me, family. Peep this. You remember Conscious Lee? You remember the other light-skinned dude, this other cat who's on his anti-FBA spew, the light-skinned dude with the dreads, cornball ass dude. Yeah, him. Don't even know his name. I don't even know these dudes' names, family. But him, Conscious Lee, Tasha K, Fat Joe, you understand? And who else, family? A few of these other people. All of their anti-FBA rhetoric all sound the same, family. It sounds very, very, very identical. It all sounds the same. Listen to them speak. Tasha K, her thing was to make it seem like you heard her. She kept repeating this when referring to Foundational Black American Lineage. She kept referring to us as an organization. That's right out of the damn notebook. That's scripted, family. That's how we know that the Busta Rhymes 2, that wretched swine of a character. So it seems like the machine is basically giving these people, they sent these content creators emails and bull points on what to say and how to say it. And Tasha K got those bull points because what is she saying? She's acting dumb to what Foundational Black American is. And the funny thing about that is that it's just Black American with foundation in front of it. Everybody's acting all confused and lethargic. I don't know what that is, but it's just, you know what a Black American is? Okay, then you know what a Foundational Black American is, idiot. See, this is the problem that I have with these people, man. They weaponize playing dumb, and then they act like they never heard stuff that's been going on for the last 6 years. Foundational Black American, the term has been in the apparatus, in the media apparatus for the last 6-7 years. You know, so it's not a new term. So when one of the ways content creators who are being pushed out and worked by the machine and funded by the machine, one of their tactics is to act like they don't know what Foundational Black American is. And Tasha K was doing that. Oh, acting all clueless, weaponizing being dumb. So another thing she said, she kept referring to us as an organization. And then she also, we know about the KKK comparison. I already dealt with that. That's insidious and nuts. But another thing she said to me, family, that stood out. Yes, that stood out. And I said, oh, yeah. The machine got her. Oh, yeah, they got her. She started the Pan-African talk. That one stood out to me. When she started that Pan-African talk, oh, I don't see Black people as different. Black people are all the same. That's another talking point that the machine is dishing out. And that one is the most important. Believe it or not, family, that talking point is the most important talking point, because the machine right now is bringing forth a lot of tether candidates. So they have to have us accept Pan-Africanism. That's the reason why flat blackness and Pan-Africanism is being pushed so heavily, because the machine, all of their political candidates are one, immigrant, two, immigrant of a Caribbean or African background. So they need us, you and me, the foundational Black American population. They need us to go 15 years backwards. They need us to go back to the Obama era, where we don't ask no questions. We just look at complexion and we just say, okay, well, he's got the right complexion for the right connection. He looks black. I'm voting for him. But the problem that the machine did not consider is that shit is done. That those days are over and done with. We ain't falling for that okey doke. That shit is up. You understand? What they say, you fool me once, shame on you. You fool me again, shame on me. You fool me again, man, it ain't gonna happen again. The hell with all of you people. You understand? We not going back to the Obama era. That was up. And we got fooled, family. I ain't gonna lie to you. We got fooled. I think back to that era. You know, I was much younger in that era. And I was going to church a lot. And I remember a lot of the deacons and a lot of the ushers would come to us during church, and they would say, "Did you vote?" And Young Cotton Club, going to a foundational Black American church, y'all know how it is. Our elders are very, very, very serious on voting, and most of them are Democrat, and you know how it is. So I remember the elders coming to me in church saying, did you vote? We got a black president in the house. We need a black president. I remember them saying that. So I remember the okey doke was up. It went through our elders first. First they were okey doked, and then they basically got the young people in line, and we all fell for the okey doke with Obama. And that's the reason why the machine needs flat blackness. They need Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, to be Pan-Africanists. And we didn't understand that before, family. We genuinely had a love and affection for Pan-Africanism because all of our master teachers came through that loin. So we naturally thought flat black. We naturally thought all Black people can share all of this stuff that we come over here. But the problem is, many of these people that came over here didn't come over here to share. They came over here to take. And that's something that we had to realize. That's something that we didn't realize, family. So what is the machine doing right now? The machine is funding a lot of money to content creators who they think can misinform people, who they believe can sell flat blackness and sell Pan-Africanism. We look at the 54-1. We know the machine is backing them. We know Godfrey has been co-opted. We look at Tasha K, co-opted. Dr. Umar, co-opted. Man, these people are good. Oh, the machine is good. Oh, man, they good. But one thing, family, they ain't better than the FBA grassroots. I tell you that much. See, we don't get paid for this shit, no matter how many people that you see come in Cotton Club's comments talking about, I know this Negro has to be getting paid. I ain't getting paid. I do this shit because I love my people. And the machine knows that. They know that. That's why they can't co-op Cotton Club. That's why they can't co-op Afro Elite. That's why they can't co-op Tariq Nasheed. That's why they can't co-op Black Alpha, Vicky Dillard. You know all these people. Shout out to all of them. And you know the grassroots is ready and willing to understand that we're in the middle of a war right now. And the power lies within us, family, especially with people like Tasha K and all of these content creators. We can beat them very simply, very simple. Unsubscribe, family. You go make sure you go to all of their goddamn YouTube platforms, their Instagram platforms, they X, wherever the hell they is. You unfollow, you unsubscribe, and we sending them to the ash cans of history. They're finished. They're finished. So we need to, this is what we need to do, family. This is the call to action, family, because you are the grassroots. You, all of you, me, the small people. You understand? It takes a lot of people to do a little bit, like the brother Tariq Nasheed says. And I agree with that 125%. So what we got to do is we got to show the machine that you can't fund opposition successfully. You bring them our way, we will send them back to you with no subscriptions, no following, no fan base, no support. And then the machine got to drop them like a bad habit. We got the power. Family, we got the power. Because right now, I'm going to keep it funky with you. The machine wants to crush this delineation movement and fund content creators to reestablish Pan-Africanism and flat blackness. So what does that do with the foundational Black American? Because you can't undo what's already done. We're already aware of our lineage. We're already putting our lineage first. We're already on code. Millions of us already understand that we're foundational to this country. So what do? I'll tell you what they do. They create a false atmosphere and create this idea that we are some kind of hate group or whatever group they claim. And the effort is to make you and me step away from foundational Black American, just step away from the term. They want to dirty the term so bad, make the term foundational Black American so toxic and so dirty that me and you step away from it. That's the aim. And if you listen to their talking points, people like Tasha K and all of that, you can tell that's what, that's kind of what they're doing. They're trying to politically soil and sabotage the concept of foundational Black American in the term so bad that we say that whenever a foundational Black American is mentioned, some kind of negative connotation is attached to it. And they're hoping that they can do that successfully through the content creators they fund. And you know what, family? They done fucked up. They done messed up. They done messed up, family. Because too many of us understand what they're doing. Too many of us are not stepping away from the term because we understand that delineation is necessary. That's like them trying to sully the name Jamaican or sully the name Haitian so bad that Haitians don't want to be Haitians no more. Ain't that what they did to a certain degree? Didn't they ravage these people's homelands and destroy these people's homelands so bad they don't even want to be associated with that shit? They come over here claiming, oh, I love to be a Haitian. Oh, I love to be Jamaican. But your ass ain't in Haiti and you ain't in Jamaica. But I tell you one thing, they ain't going to do that with the foundational Black American. We ain't never running away from our identity to appease nobody. We're never going to go back to Pan-Africanism. We're never going to go back to flat blackness. So they're going to have to accept foundational Black Americans or there's nothing. You won't get into political office. You won't have a content. You won't have a YouTube. You won't have an Instagram. You won't have a goddamn nothing. And that's what happens when foundational Black Americans unsubscribe to you, Tasha K. Right? That's what happens. You become a shell of yourself. You become putty. You become irrelevant. And that's the power of the Black grassroots, making these people irrelevant. Fat Joe, Busta Rhymes, Tasha K, irrelevant. Nobody cares about you anymore. So, what do we do, family? What do we do? Because I like to talk about solutions. I don't just like to get up here and just talk a lot of shit. I like to talk about solutions, family. Because regardless of the fact They're trying to beat you and me into submission. They're trying to beat the delineation out of us. You remember when you was young, and if you got in trouble, you did something you weren't supposed to do, and you knew you was going to get a beat down, what did your folks always say? Well, they be beating on you, talking wisdom to you at the same time. You remember those? What they said? Didn't I tell you? You ain't gonna do that no more. And here's a few hits to go around to prove that you ain't gonna do it no more. Didn't I tell you? To reinsure. That's what the machine is trying to do to us. Didn't I tell you not to delineate? Didn't I tell you not to call yourself FBA? Didn't I tell you not to self-identify? You are an African. And it's funny because don't that sound similar to the people in your comments? Your ass is African American. You don't know me. You don't know shit about me. My grandmama ain't never, my grandma didn't use that term. My grandma didn't use that term. My grandmama told me that we was Cherokee. That's what she told me personally. She ain't say we was no damn Africans or African American. But you'll get tethers coming in your comments, and the first thing they say, you African, and you this, and you African American, right? Trying to beat you into submission. You understand, family? So what's the solution? Because we know that they've declared war on the delineation movement. That means, unfortunately, family, they've declared war on the Black American grassroots. Their aim is to sow seeds of deceit and to crush us, to crush all of our ambitions, to make us a hate group so that they can make the term FBA so disgusting and so toxic that we let it go and move forward and become African Americans again. So what's the solution? The solution is, family, ain't no going back. And if you ain't for delineation, if you ain't for foundational Black American reparations, and if you ain't for foundational Black Americans self-identifying, then you ain't for nothing. Then you might as well go get paid for some dark money and go work for the machine yourself. You understand, family? Because it's too late to turn back now. Y'all remember that song? It's too late to turn back now. They've already disrespected us. They've already treated us like foreigners in our own country. They've already sent thousands of bots or whatever they are into our comment sections to spew so much ignorance, to spew so much, just nonsensical logic that is almost a psyop. Just looking into your comment section, you have to wonder, are these real people with brains? Because some of the stuff that they say is purebred idiocy. Yeah, I've had, people don't understand what Cotton Club Radio goes through. Trying to keep this grassroots movement afloat. No machine behind me. Just getting up and showing love to my people because I love my people. You understand? And I love being proud of my lineage. And I wouldn't do anything else, family. I don't want to do anything else but be proud of who I am. And it's real weird that one of the tactics that they're using right as we speak against the grassroots, foundational Black American grassroots, one of the tactics that the machine is doing, because the machine is behind it. And y'all know what I mean when I say the machine. Because what does a machine do? A machine operates under a program. A machine operates on a system. A machine operates on schemas and habitual behavior. But underneath it all, a machine is programmed to do as it's told. You understand? And we know what that political machine is and where it's coming from. That shit is coming from the top. You understand? But one of their biggest tactics that they're using to declare war on the foundational Black American grassroots to ultimately crush us and destroy us. One of their tactics is two tactics, family. And I want y'all to remember this. The first tactics is to erase the delineation movement, to erase foundational Black American pride and dignity and self-identification. That's one, to erase that. They don't want that to be no more. We done conjured up something spiritually that they don't want, family. Too many of us are getting on code. Man, they don't like that shit. They don't like that. Too many of us are working people, taking out time out of our day just to go and talk to our people. You understand? So the first tactic is to erase delineation and erase the foundation of Black American self-identifying. The third erasure, exactly. The second tactic is to absorb us, is to just blatantly absorb us, family. Just absorb us into something else. Okay? Absorb us into being immigrants. That's what the whole African American thing was about. When Jesse Jackson declared that we shouldn't use Black anymore, his justification for using African American was to make us equivalent to immigrants. So like Italian immigrants, German immigrants, Australian immigrants, Hispanic immigrants. He said, well, we must be African immigrants. Interestingly, that Negro is Choctaw. Jesse Jackson is Choctaw. What? You understand? And he sold his people out because the machine bought his ass. So the second tactic is absorb us. And you know it's to absorb because what do these content creators keep saying? You're African. We need to be one. We don't need to be different. We all the same. We need to be the same. And what are these tethers in your comments saying? What's a Black American? Where, when they talk about Haiti, well, isn't Haiti on the continent of America? We're the same. Just listen, family, because when people talk, they talk in habits and they talk in what they call schemas. Okay. A schema is a form of repetition. So people listen to key words. Same. They'll say, we are the same. They'll say, what's a Black American? They'll say, you are African American. They'll say, I'm Black. The Haitians or whoever, the Caribbeans, they'll say, now they want to call themselves Black. They'll say, well, aren't we all Black? So let's get this straight. So if you're saying that that Haitians are Americans because Haiti is on the continent of America, and you're saying we're all Black, then you're saying you're Black American. So you're saying we're the same. No, that's absorption, that you're trying to absorb my identity. So if you absorb me, I don't exist anymore. So that shit has to stop. We're not doing that. You're not absorbing our identity. You can take yourself over there with barbecue and go hang out over there. Because I'm going to keep it funky with you, family. I've seen the videos of people being deported and talking about life back in Haiti. And I'm going to keep it funky with you, family. It ain't pretty. So all you Haitians in my comments talk about how proud you are to be Haitian. I'm Haitian. I don't want to be nothing else. I don't want to be no Black American. What's a Black American? That's really interesting because y'all don't want to go back to Haiti because I've seen the videos, family. I've seen the videos. Oh, yes, I've seen the videos. Many of you seen those videos crying like babies because they got to go back home. Ain't that a bit crying like babies? Could you imagine that, family? People crying because they got to go home. I even saw one video of a Haitian woman who was very Americanized, and she was doing a little tutorial about life back in Haiti. She had no running water. She had no toilet. She was sleeping in a 1-bedroom hut with a friend. There were no grounds. It was just mud. You understand? She had to go get some water out of a sewer looking dump. You understand? all the people on the street looked like they were eating out of garbages. This is what people are living like in these third world countries, family. So they may come over here and they may tell you how much they love it. They love those countries and they got that flag on standby. But I'm telling you, family, I've seen the videos with people who are going back. Man, it's a living, breathing nightmare what they're dealing with. They want to be here. They want to absorb your identity, my identity. They want to be Black Americans and African Americans. They don't want to be nothing else, family. The only problem is we told them you can't be. We told them you're African. We told them you're Haitian. We told them you're Jamaican. We told them we're the only Black Americans here. And not only that, we're foundational Black Americans, not Yankees, not Akatas, not Jarreras, not Abids. Foundational Black Americans, not an organization, not a group, not a sorority. Foundational Black Americans. It's either you're a part of that lineage of the people who built this country or you're not. That includes American Indians. That includes people that include some mulattoes, mixed ethnic groups, and that includes people who are enslaved. If you can trace your lineage to the foundation of this country, you are a foundational Black American. That's just by logic and design. You don't need nothing else. Okay? And for all the tethers who may say, well, there were some Caribbeans coming back and forth from the islands to mainland. I'll tell you this. You had your ethnogenesis over there and became Jamaican. I had my ethnogenesis here and became foundational Black American. That's where the line is drawn. Boundaries in the sand. Cut it out. Because when y'all called us Yankees, you didn't say some of y'all. You said all of y'all are Yankees. It's a very dirty and disgusting game what they're doing, family. And we need to support foundational Black Americans best we can. Because, man, they own us. They own us. This year is a little bit more. It's a little different than last year and the year before last. It's a little different. They're putting on the full on assault. They're getting more content creators, more tethers. I'm seeing more spaces. They're seeing, they're paying people who are probably foreign to go into our comments and just continuously bombard our comments, with all kinds of anti-FBA rhetoric. It's a psychological warfare. That's what they're doing. It's a psyop. It's made to discourage you. It's made to make you stop. It's made to make us stop, family. It's made to make us question what we're doing. You understand? That's why it's ever more important that we put our foot on the gas and we let them know, we let the machine know that you can pay who you want and we will unsubscribe to their shit and send them to the ash cans of history. So Tasha K, if you had a platform, you better start looking for a new one, because foundational Black Americans are about to send you to the ash cans of history. And anyone else who sullies our reputation, spreads misinformation and propaganda about us and who we are and about our people, we will not sit down, lay down, and allow you to continue to spew misinformation and propaganda about our people. We ain't having it. And yes, many of you are weak imitations. You are prototype ones and twos. You are not the real McCoy. So you can get up here and talk in your best Black scent or do what the hell you think you need to do. You are just imitating a real group of people. And let me tell you, you're not even doing a good job. You dudes are weak imitations. Prototype ones and prototype twos. Prototype ones off the boat, prototype twos, you're just carbon copy FBAs and you ain't even good versions. Don't you ever forget who showed you the game. You understand? We've been doing this. We've been doing this. One thing about Black American people, when you when you show us that it's a full on assault on us, we know how to band together, get on code, and boycott your ass and get you about the paint. So I'm asking everybody in this room, family, go to Cotton Club Radio YouTube channel and subscribe to that channel. And if your ass is subscribed to that Tasha K channel, unsubscribe to that shit and start supporting real grassroots people who do this shit for the love and not for a buck, family.
Look, let your angel sing. I ain't twisted, this ain't the Henny talking for me. This is literally Malcolm Little talking through me. I ain't possessed, this is just when spirit meets the flesh, and a revolutionary is born, nothing less. It's hard for me to cope with stress, especially when I see the world much different from the rest. I can't sleep, nightmares, waking up, cold sweat, wondering if I ever made it, will they do me like the rest? For my black souls who really too upset to rest, so they wander through my dreams, please tell me what this means.